Hi, this is Wendy. Welcome to my channel. I hope that you'll find some videos here that will help you in your crochet journey. This video is meant to accompany my Cozy Cape pattern. This is a comfy and easy to wear, easy to make pattern for a cape type topper. The pattern links are available in the video description below. The pattern is $3, which is also the price of a monthly subscription to the channel. So if you'd like to consider becoming a member and getting my patterns for free, you can find the link for that below as well. This pattern is done with the extended single crochet, and it's quite simple. So I'll just be giving you a few tips in this video to help you construct this cape. For this version of the cape, I used Karen Blossom Cakes. It's a cotton acrylic yarn in this beautiful variegated look. It's the Caribbean Sea color. It's a number 4 weight yarn, a 227 gram skein. You'll need 2 of those for the smallest size and 3 for the larger sizes. Or if you're using a different number 4 weight yarn, about 450 grams for the smaller size and 550 for the large extra large and 680 to 700 for the 2x 3x size. And the sweater is constructed from the center going out. So I'll show you what we're going to do here with these little paper cutouts. So what you'll need is to make 4 pieces exactly the same, and they're this kind of a shape. And the nice thing about this design is this extended single crochet looks the same on both sides. So you can make 4 pieces exactly the same and then put them side to side like this for the front and the back. So it makes kind of this wing shape or heart shape. And then we'll sew it up the middle. And you can leave it like a cape, or you can attach it under the arms on either side. Just tack it down on either side to make a sleeve opening. It's a pretty forgiving pattern in that it's meant to be oversized and roomy. So it's just really comfy to wear and great for when you just need that little extra warmth over your shoulders. The pattern is written with basically 3 different patterns for the 3 different sizes, but they all follow a similar structure. You're going to start with a chain, and as I mentioned, it works from the inside out. So your chain is going to be this piece here, and then we're going to work up and down, going across, increasing and decreasing all the way out to the point at the outer edge. So in this case, I'm working on the large, extra large size, and it starts with a chain of 50. Make sure you don't do it too tight because you don't want that front seam to pull tighter than the rest of it. I'm using a 5mm hook, and as I mentioned, a worsted weight or number 4 yarn. So once you've got your chain of 50, you can work in the side of the chain like this going down, or you can flip it and use the back bump, which is what I'm going to do. And starting in the 3rd chain from the hook, so 1, 2, 3, this one, or the 3rd back bump, which is on the back of that same one, yarn over, pull up a loop, just like starting a single crochet, but instead of making a single crochet, we're first going to just pull through 1 loop on the hook, yarn over again, and pull through 2. Let's do that again. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 1, yarn over, go through 2. So essentially you're doing a chain with a single crochet stacked on top of it. Work those all the way down the chain to the other end. And for this size, I will have 48 extended single crochets. The abbreviation used in the pattern is ESC for extended single crochet. And I will put a few of the instructions on the screen as I go so that when you're reading the pattern, you'll be able to understand what it looks like when you make that stitch and when you make the increases and the decreases. And there's really only 3 or 4 different things you need to do with this pattern, and once you know how to do those, you'll be able to follow it line by line and construct the cape very easily. I'll join you when I get to the end of this and show you what an increase looks like. For an increase at the beginning of the row, the pattern will ask you to do 2 extended single crochets in the first stitch. So at the end of each row, chain 2 and turn. So the pattern assumes that you're turning after every row and chaining 2 at the beginning of each row, but the chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. So if I'm working in the first stitch, I'm working under this first V next to the hook, which would be my third V from the hook, because these 2 are my starting chain or my turning chain, and then the first stitch is here. So I'm working into the very first stitch if I'm calling for that on the pattern. And to do an increase at the beginning, you'll do 1 extended single crochet in that stitch and a second one. So that will increase 1 at the beginning of the row. And we're working on the wrong side of the pattern right now, or from the neckline down to the bottom. There's not really a right side or wrong side. There's a starting at the top side and a starting at the bottom side. But where it says wrong side on the pattern, we're starting at the neckline and working down to the bottom. So after doing that increase in the first stitch, I'm going to do an extended single crochet in each stitch down to the other end. Okay, I'm coming up to the end of my row. The last stitch is this one right here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. This little one at the end is from the turning chain, so I'm not going to do that one. So it's going to take a little bit to recognize your stitches, but you will get used to it. And you can always count. Make sure that you've got the 48. I would really recommend that after the first row that you check the stitch count on the pattern and you make sure you've got the right number. Otherwise you're off track right off the bat. So it should lay nice and straight if you haven't made your starting chain too tight. And again, at the end of every row, we're going to turn and go the other direction and chain 2. Now this is the bottom. I'm going to work back to the neckline. A couple of suggestions to make sure you don't lose track. One thing you can do is tick the little rows off as you go and make sure that you don't lose track, or you could use a sticky note. Just put that under your row as you go, or alternately a ruler or a paper clip, something to make sure that you keep track of the row that you're on. The second thing you could do is take a stitch marker, and right now I'm working on row 3, which is a right side row, and I could just put a stitch marker on this side so that if I forget if I've moved my sticky note or checked the right one, I'll at least know if I'm on the right side or the wrong side. Okay, so I hope those tips will help you out. The next row is just an extended single crochet in each stitch across to the last stitch. And in the last stitch, which is this one right here, you'll do an increase by working 2 extended single crochets in that one. When I get there, I'll show you what that looks like. So the instruction for an end of the row increase on your pattern will say to do 2 ESC or extended single crochets in the last stitch. So work across until the last stitch and work 2 extended single crochets in the last stitch, and that will give you the increase at the end of the row, and your work will angle up a little bit. When the pattern calls for a beginning of the row decrease, you'll do that simply by skipping over the first stitch. So instead of working my first stitch in the first extended single crochet, I'm going to work it in the second one, which will be the 4th V from my hook, because there's the 2 turning chains, the first stitch and the second stitch. So work the first stitch of the row in that second stitch, and that will result in a decrease because we've missed one at the beginning, and the last stitch will go here on the next row. So that will cause the work to angle up a little bit. For an end of the row decrease, you'll see an instruction that says ESC2 together, and that means we're going to do an extended single crochet over 2 stitches, or extended single crochet 2 together. And it's just the way it sounds. Put your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 1, but don't finish that stitch. Go on to the next one, go into the work, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Now you'll have 3 stitches on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. That turns 2 extended single crochets into 1, and that'll be a decrease, and it will make the shaping go this way. The last type of shaping instruction you'll see in the pattern results in a 2-stitch decrease at the end. So it will say work until the last 3 stitches, extended single crochet 2 together, so like we just did. Go through all 3. Leave the last stitch unworked. Then you'll do your chain 2 and go back, and that results in a slightly bigger decrease at the end of a row. So that's about it. That's all the instructions that you'll find in the pattern. It's just a simple extended single crochet, which I think is a very elegant stitch. It's quite pretty. It's not too open, but it looks really lovely. And all the magic in this pattern is in the decreases and the increases at the end that give you this great shape, which then you can make 4 times and put together to make the cape. I really hope that you've enjoyed this project and that you'll consider picking up the pattern and making it for yourself or for someone special. Please hit the like button or subscribe if you'd like to see more. I look forward to seeing you on my next project. Have a super day.